So first off, tell me a little bit about how the band Nevermore came to be.
Came to be. Well, I tell you what, it started back in about '93. I had heard from word of mouth when I used to live in Wisconsin that Sanctuary was actually looking for a guitar player, and I basically sent out a demo tape of 4 of their songs, and they really liked my guitar playing. And basically, this was during the grunge movement in Seattle when that was just starting, and Lenny Rutledge, the other guitar player in Sanctuary, kind of wanted to go for more of that style in his songwriting. So basically, Sanctuary split up, and Worrell and Jim and I went our different ways. So we basically stuck to the metal movement that we enjoyed, and the other guys went in their direction. So to make a long story short, that's basically what happened.
That's awesome. Now, was it tough trying to be a metal band in like the whole Seattle grunge scene thing when that's going on and you're trying to be metal? I mean, because that thing was so huge,
Yeah, at the time it really was kind of a struggle. I mean, going through that 7 years that it actually happened, but most of the times we were either on the road or in Europe, where metal has always stayed very strong, and we rarely played shows in Seattle. I mean, maybe once a year if we were lucky at that. But yeah, it was kind of a struggle, but I think that it's always cool, that our fans have always stuck close to us just because we've always, stayed, true to what we believe in. We never changed our style just because of a trend that was out.
That's very true.
Yeah.
You kind of touched upon that point of Europe, so just kind of want to know a little bit. At least to me, your sound seems like something that would go over huge in Europe. And how does the crowd response compare to the U.S. and Europe when you're playing live?
Well, it's always been a little bit stronger in Europe for us at the moment. I guess it's kind of hard to explain. Metal's probably just always stayed very strong over there. The crowds have always been really, really good. In the United States, I don't know, I think it's just a matter of us getting a video out so people can see what we're all about, because our distribution and our promotion has always been very, very slim in the United States. And that's something that we really want to work on, especially with this new album that we have out. So we are going to be doing a video for MTV in about 2 weeks here. So hopefully that will help our our status as far as our USA status goes. So.
It seems like that's the case in the United States. Like the videos are play such a huge part of it. I mean, it's kind of a good time to be in a metal band right now in the metal scene because it seems to be a lot more options on TV for it.
Well, I mean, it's cool that, Headbangers Ball is back and stuff, too, because that's going to be something very huge, I mean, it was supposed to be back a long time ago, but finally they really did bring it back, and it's kind of ironic, actually, because MTV actually called up Century Media, our record company, and demanded a video from us, so this could be our, walking up a ladder, getting into higher places maybe kind of a thing for us, we'll see what happens.
I kind of get pissed about it sometimes because, it's like, this music has been around for a while underground, and then all of a sudden, it starts to make its way up, and then all of a sudden MTV jumps on it. But you kind of wish that where were they back then, and you kind of hope that they're not just going to drop it like they did, back in the early '90s when it wasn't cool anymore.
It's very true. I mean, it's almost like a something where your timing has to be right. Which really sucks because there's so many good underground metal bands that are out there at the moment, and. It's just you got to stick to what you believe in and, strive for it, and it'll eventually happen. It really will. So I do believe in that.
So let's get a little bit to the new album. You got the new album coming out, Enemies of Reality. What can fans expect from this new one?
I think that this is an album that's much more to the point. And a lot of our stuff in the past has been kind of drawn out musically and, 60, 65-minute albums plus. This is a 40-minute album with 9 really cool songs on it. Nevermore always has a wide variety of ranges of the different styles of music that we do in each album. Definitely this one is our most aggressive, I think. Very, very heavy stuff, lots of, shredding guitar solos and stuff, which people are always still into. And
nice.
Yeah, I think that overall, with anything, our songwriting has really improved, and we've gotten better as songwriters. So, I think the fans can look forward to that.
Well, definitely. I mean, I've gotten a chance to listen to it already, and I agree with you 100%. It is a lot more aggressive, and I love it. I mean, you gotta respect the solos. I love that shit.
Right. Thanks, man. That's awesome.
Now, it's been like over almost, 2 years or 3 years or something like that since you guys put out an album. Is there any reason for the delay?
This is like one of the biggest questions that everybody's been asking, and it's kind of a simple answer. We did a lot of extensive touring for Dead Heart and a Dead World, our last album. You know, we were out 3 times in the United States. I think we toured Europe 4 times. We went to Canada, all over Canada, and then we toured South America. So that ate up a lot of time right there. But then, of course, we were having a little bit of problems with our record company at the time, too, as far as a re-signing thing that they wanted us to do immediately, and that caused conflict as well. And also finding a producer to do the new album was kind of a little sketchy at the time, too. We wanted to work with Andy Sneap again, the guy that did our last album, but unfortunately our budget didn't work for him. We had a very, very small budget for this new album, so unfortunately we couldn't work with Andy, but I guess that moves us on to Kelly Gray, the guy that did the album. He was readily available for us, and he's the guy that did it, and all these things kind of add up, you know, as far as the timing thing goes, and a couple of years went by, and unfortunately that's what happened, but at least we have a new album out, you know.
So are you pleased with the production sound of the new album?
The production is much, much different than anything we've ever done before. It's much more of a live kind of sound for us. It's different, but I mean, when you're working with a different producer, you're going to get a different painting in the end. So that's basically what it is. But we're very, very happy with what happened. You know, as far as the sound and all that, we're happy with it.
And it's always tough when you want to do something and you have a direction where you want to go, but you just don't have the budget to do it, which happens a lot of times with metal bands. You know,
it was very unfortunate in a sense, yeah. But you know, you gotta stick with what you got, and you know that's what we got.
So have you guys have you been pleased with what Century Media has been doing for you guys, or?
For the most part, you know, I think that we kind of got, you know, maybe dicked in the end a little bit, you know, but I think that the reasons that our budget was so small for the new album was just simply because they didn't know if we were going to re-sign with them, because contractually we are up as far as our contract goes. This is our last album with them as far as contracts go and all that. So they didn't know if we were going to re-sign with them or move on to another label. So that's probably why they didn't want to stick a lot of money into us, which is still kind of sad because, I mean, all the work that we did over the years for them, you think that they'd want to put a shitload of money into it just because, you know, this is supposed to be our best album, you know?
Oh, exactly. And I mean, and you're probably one of the bigger bands on their roster that they had. I mean,
well, you know, one of them, but yeah, but it's just like it's just one of those unfortunate things, you know. I guess you could honestly say we did the best work that we could possibly do for the budget that we got.
Well, I guess it's positive. If you're pleased with the product and you did the best you could do with what you're given, there's not much else you can expect. So, you know, hopefully the fans will be into it and dig it, and everybody will, you know, Century will look at it and be like, you know what, maybe we should have given them more money, but we're glad we didn't because they're kicking ass with this shit.
Well, it's one way to think of it, I guess. Yeah.
So back to the new album. Do you have a personal favorite track on there that you enjoy the most?
I really like the second song, Ambivalent. Great tune. It's like totally just, you know, in your face, heavy, brutal. A lot of elements of you know, death metal, speed metal that are in there, which I really am a fan of because I come from bands like that. But that's probably one of my favorites right now. I mean, the album is still so new, you know. It's hard to pick one, but that would be the one that I choose as a favorite. Now,
do you guys plan to do more extensive touring for this album coming up?
Yeah, we actually have a bunch of stuff coming up. We actually have a CD release party here in Seattle coming up this Friday in a couple days. Then we go to shoot the video for Enemies of Reality in L.A., and then in September and October we go to Europe, and we headline over there, and Arch Enemy will be supporting us.
Nice.
And after that, we come back to the States to do a package with Dima Borgir will be headlining, then Nevermore, then Children of Bodom, and then Hypocrisy. So a 4-band bill for the U.S.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so lots of stuff coming up, and can't really tell you much after that because I really don't know, but that's what I know now.
I'll tell you one thing, and that thing better come to Massachusetts because I'll be fucking pissed. I missed Hypocrisy last time they came around here to the Palladium. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure we're coming back that way, so and I'm sure Hypocrisy is playing with us in Massachusetts as well, but I can't tell you for sure.
Can't guarantee it.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys recently played over here at the New England Metal Fest. How do you think that went for you guys?
It was cool, man. It was, I mean, anytime we play there, it's always great because the fans are so cool. And, every time we play, we just always look forward to coming back the next time because we're just always treated so well, Just an excellent fan base there.
That's killer.
We love Worcester, man. It's great.
That's a killer. I mean, you guys put on a great performance, and every time I've seen you there, you've always invited all the crowd up on stage, and everyone's gone nuts.
I don't know how that happens, but it's just, I guess it just happens. And sometimes, guitars and amps get ruined, but it's worth it.
I was actually just going to ask you that. I was going to say, has there ever been a time when you've had all these people up, and especially you're playing guitar, I mean, it's probably easy to get messed up. I mean, has there been a time that's happened where you've gotten messed up?
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't happen every night at our shows like that. I mean, it's only sometimes, but sometimes, there's kids up there that I accidentally clock in the head with my headstock and stuff, and I just can't help it because I'm not really looking around, So it's kind of like the running of the bulls, you never know when you're going to get gored by a guitar headstock. But it's pretty cool, though, It's just sometimes it pisses off security, because they don't want them kids to get hurt and shit. But for the most part, it's fun.
That's true. It always seems like there's a delayed reaction from the crowd when you guys are like, come on up, and everyone's just kind of standing there like,
yeah,
is it all right? Are we going to get kicked out? Or
yeah, it happens.
So how long have you been playing guitar for?
I've been playing since I was about 15. So I've been playing for about 15 years now. I used to practice a lot more in my earlier days. But now I just, concentrate on writing songs rather than working on technique or anything like that. But, practicing still is an important thing. You should at least do, an hour a day or something just to keep your chops up, which I do. So. Did
you get into metal right as you started playing guitar, or did you play guitar first and then, kind of get into it from there?
I actually started off as a drummer, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, and got super bored with that, like almost immediately. But it's kind of a cool thing, though, is that, I think it gives you a great sense of timing, as being a musician, just being able to start off on drums like that. But anyway, that kind of got boring. So then my dad gave me a guitar, and I guess you could blame him for turning me into a musician, So that's kind of cool. I've always come from that, supportive family as far as them being really cool with the whole music thing. I know a lot of kids aren't, but kind of fortunate in that area. But yeah, then I just I picked it up and I never put it down since, And I'm pretty much a self-taught player. I never really got any lessons or anything like that. I was always one of them dudes that just, slowed down the record player and learned like Eddie Van Halen riffs, like at really slow speed and Yngwie riffs, So yeah, pretty much a self-taught player.
I just got one last question for you. I mean,
sure.
I just want to congratulate you guys on the album. It rocks, and I wish you the best of luck with everything to come.
Thank you.
Over your times being in Nevermore now, could you think of the most metal moment that you've ever experienced while being in the band?
That's really an easy question, and that's definitely the time we played the Dynamo Festival in Eindhoven, Holland, back in 1995. It was our very first tour we've ever done, I should say, and it was pretty awesome. It was in front of about 85,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah, and we were called the Breakfast Band because we were the first band to go on that day, and there was already that many people there. So we went on at around, I think, 11 o'clock in the morning or something, and it was just a sea of people. And, I don't know if you know this, but they don't hold shows like that, like huge festivals with that many people anymore. It's about half that amount now.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, just because of the cleanup that's involved and, just people getting hurt. But back in '95, man, that's just a very memorable show. It was just amazing. I just had the feelings of, just wanting to puke before I went up on stage because I was so nervous, There's that many people, don't really know how to react. But as soon as you get done playing, getting through the first song or whatever, it's all flowing from there, It's just great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's definitely a good metal moment. I thought it was going to be a hard question because sometimes it'd be like, I don't know, but you had it right on, man.
Yeah, that's definitely the answer for that one.
Sweet.
Cool.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Thanks for the time. I appreciate it,
man.
All right. Good luck.
No problem. See ya.
Bye.